morning. Oh, too far. We're getting ready to go plant, so we got to dig out seed tender, a tank way back there. We got some stuff to move so we can get to what we need. Sun's still shining, but it's cloudy to the west. I don't know how long it's gonna last. Let's see what we can do, and we'll try. Getting the seed tender out. I'm just gonna go put it in front of the shop for right now, park it out of the way, and we'll move that stuff to get to my tank back there, so put those back in the barn. This is what we're after. The question is, can we get it out without hitting the irrigation gun? The answer is no. We're gonna have to just pull that arm out of there, I think. So we don't have a ton to do to this seed tender, but we do need to check the tires, make sure they're good, and go through the motor, just check the oil and make sure that it runs and everything. But it was new a year ago, so it should be in pretty good shape. 36, they're supposed to have 50, so adding a little bit. Look at this. It's a piece of equipment that sat all winter and doesn't have a dead battery. What a deal. That's awesome. All right, we'll run everything. Just double checking, making sure. Auger's running. We didn't even get a pile of crap out of it. Talc applicator's running. I threw you guys on the floor. All good. All good. This was the easy one. All right, we're working on our fertilizer tank here. Tires are all good. Oil, we've got oil pouring out of the motor, so that's good. I changed this last year. This motor gets used very, very sparingly. Only time I use it is to transfer from this onto the planter. Most of the time it draws out of it itself. I don't have to do anything. So, not real concerned about this. We'll see if it starts here real quick. Might take a minute. Helps when there's gas in it. Tank's completely empty, which we always turn the valve and run the carburetors dry. So usually it takes a couple pulls to get them going, but you do have to have gas in the tank for it to start. All right, I'm getting some paper and work stuff ready here. I make up my spreadsheets that have all of my variety information, what gets planted where, all my starter stuff. So I like to print those off, laminate a couple copies, stick them in the tractor on the forklift stuff so that I have all that to reference when we're getting ready to load the planter up and stuff. So I'm doing that for me. I did a couple of beans for Phil, so that, yeah. So we all know, we're all on the same page. This is ready to go. Next up, let's get our tractor ready to go. I mean, the tractor's basically ready. We've got some hydraulic fittings to put on the planter, and we got to test our fertilizer system. So that's what we're gonna do now. We've lost our sunshine. Cloud cover is moving in. I still don't know if we're gonna make it or not, but there's no rain imminent at this point. Well, there's those two fittings that I needed. So we got those hoses hooked up. I can plug this end into the tractor. I'm not sure which side we want where. We'll figure it out. So I pulled the planter around here. I don't know if we can water in these tanks or not, but we need some water so that we can, there might be a little bit in there, so we can test everything. We don't need much, but we're gonna run a little bit in there. Okay, I put, I don't know, 75 gallons of water in the tank on the planter here. We're gonna unfold it and just run it right here in the driveway. See if we can get everything to work the way that it's supposed to. And we've got, put the plates in yet. We got to check air pressure on the tires on the planter, all that good stuff. So we're still a ways out, but it's about 20 after 9. We're making good progress here. All right, I'm trying to get this pump figured out. I think it's just taking a minute to prime because it should be turning. It's not turning. Dang it. I'm doing something wrong, but I'm not sure what. I had it running for a second, but I think part of it's because I'm not moving. I'm trying to run the test, and I don't know how to do it. Oh, look, we've got flow. I've only got one section on. They turned pink. Oh, yes. Okay, zoom back out. So now we're gonna turn section 3 on, and it'll take a minute, but eventually you'll see it come through those right there, and then out our rows. Oh, yes. It's working. Finally. It was pink because that's the RV antifreeze that was in the planter. All right, so I'm going to switch to the next one. So watch those flow meters over there. We're priming the hoses. There it comes. And then it should come out right there. Sweet. All right, one more section. And there it is. Excellent. There we go. We're flushing them all. Maximum pressure exceeded. Sounds good. What is our pressure? 85. So that's okay. You don't want it to get above 100, which it just did. We can turn our hydraulic flow to the pump down a little bit so we don't run so much pressure. Oh, we can open our valves. Oh, yeah. So we've got those dual metering tubes, and I've got it set to run just on the small one right now, I think. So we may have to switch and run the orange one. But this is just I have no idea whether this is our rate. I'm sure that we're actually quite high here. We're running a lot of water out of them. So we're not going to run this high pressure in the field. We'll have to adjust that in the field. I put air in all the tires, and now the plates go in. So we got to open that up, stick our plate in there, and get it lined up just right, which is way easier with 2 hands than one. And then we turn the latch, which I'm sure I can't do with one hand, but anyway, it goes in there. Time out, sidebar. We got a guy here with 32 bags of corn I got to go unload. Closer. We're getting closer. We got the tank hooked up. All right, so we've got a few different things going on. I was getting ready to load up fertilizer and realized that, hey, I need my boron and my zinc and stuff to put in my starter, and started going through our chemical shuttles here, and I'm missing 2 totes of zinc. I don't have them, so I called them and said, hey, you guys gonna bring this to me? Oh yeah, we'll get there. Okay, well, please. So they're maybe bringing them in the next hour or 2. We'll see if we get them in time or not. Brock's here, so he's hooking up the bean planter for us, getting that ready. I would love to be throwing beans in the ground, but we're not there yet. So we're getting close. Phil's been working on the disc. We had a wheel bearing out on one of the little idler gauge wheels, so he was getting parts to fix that. I am trying to get my seed tender loaded up, and bad news, you see them? Sprinkles, just teeny tiny little raindrops. Raindrops. I don't know if we're gonna make it. Let's go look at the radar. Dang. Well, that can't be totally accurate because we're in the middle of that, and well, so we are right where that little jog is. It's moving east. I thought it was moving northeast. Doesn't look good here, guys. It's dying off. Maybe. I'm not calling it yet. We're going to keep working and getting ready, but it's not looking promising. Well, good news for now at least. The rain has stopped. The concrete dried up. It never really rained. Never got anything really wet. Just a few drops. So we're keeping on getting ready here. I changed the fitting on our pump to come out on a 45 there so that hopefully it doesn't leak so bad. I am still waiting for that shuttle of zinc to show up. They said they were filling it, so I expect it any time. But I don't have it yet. So either I call an audible and use a different zinc product and already screw up from my plans and my sheets that I have made up and all planned out perfectly ready to go, or I wait for them. And so I think we're going to load the rest of this stuff up. We're going to get fertilizer on, we're going to get seed in, and then hopefully that'll show up before we're ready to go to the field and we can just throw it in real quick. We've got seed corn in the planter. Sweet. We need 900 and something pounds, 978 I believe it was. So our scale there is counting backwards because I still don't know how that scale head works, but we'll figure it out eventually. I haven't used this one at all yet. Yeah, we're putting 23 units of this variety in. It's about half a box. And then we're going to put a different variety in the other side. It's just the way I've got it planned for this field. So we're going to do a split planter side by side. Seed is in, another step closer. Okay, well, we've got all the fertilizer in except for the zinc product that I am waiting on them to deliver. So Dad just got back from walking some fields. We're going to see what he has to say. Well, we have a bit of a good news, bad news situation when the report from Dad. Good news is we have a lot of ground that's ready to go. Like we probably should have been working a day or two ago. Whoops, didn't know. So, if it doesn't rain today, we are going to do a lot tomorrow. Brock is taking the field cultivator and going to the next field. We've got one that we can get worked down right around the corner down here. So, he has not run the field cultivator on this track. I don't know if he's run the field cultivator at all, actually. He did a bunch of disking last spring, but I don't know if he ever ran the field cultivator. So, I'm going to go help him get started. Teach him how to do that a little bit. And then he'll be fine. We're going to come back here, hope that our zinc is here, and go to the field. The bad news is that we've got some more sprinkles. Still minimal, still not enough to kill the day, but they're back. Well, we're on our third round and halfway across the field. No, not quite, but this goes fast. The field cultivator is wide, can drive fast. It is nice, and it's doing a really good job. So I think Brock's got the hang of this. You got the hang of this yet, Brock?
Yep, as
he hits a tree on the turn. Yeah, you're plenty close. All right, well, when he gets up, I'm going to jump out, and we're going to let him finish this. There's only 35 acres here. Take a couple hours total is all, and I don't know what we're going to do after that. We've got some fields that we need to plant that don't need field cultivated. They're our cover crop fields from last year that we're just going to go in and plant them. So that gives me a lot to do without needing to do a lot of tillage just yet. What an awesome machine that is. It is amazing. Oh, safety chain's dragging. Anyway, it is amazing what that thing can get done in a day and how good of a job that field cultivator does. Cool deal. You guys want to go for a ride in an 8RX? Yeah, me too. Let's go. Let's go do it. Oh, ho, ho, look what came while we were gone. Just what we were waiting for. Okay, now this stuff we're going to use fair amounts of. We are applying it at a rate of 1 gallon per acre. We're doing 80 some acres, which means we need 80 some gallons of it. It is nasty, black, thick. Oh, it looks terrible, but supposedly it's good. I don't know. We will see. Hopefully once we blend it in with everything else, it mixes well and we don't have any issues. I've used this stuff before with some irrigation, fertigation, putting it through our irrigation fertilizer injector, and it caused me problems. So we're hoping we don't have any of those issues with this. But we need 80 some gallons, so it's going to take a minute to pump it out. We're going to get this fairly full, and then we'll start pumping it in and flush everything with water. It's the best way I got to do it right now. Finally, it takes a long time to pump 80 gallons through that little pump, but we're good. We're ready. Oh no, we're not ready. We're almost ready. We got to get fuel. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Who's excited? I'm excited. Let's do it. Okay, it is later than I anticipated. What are we, 1:45? I think. Yeah, 147. It's going to take us 4 to 5 hours, probably closer to 5, because we got first day setup stuff to do in this field. So we're good. We got plenty of time, assuming the rain holds off. But it is clearing, so we've got a good window here. It's going to take me a little bit, right? So I know the planter's not new, but the fertilizer system and the tractor and the monitor are. And so it's going to take me a little bit to figure this stuff all out and get going and rolling. I'll try and bring you along for it, but I'm going to get frustrated and just have to do what I have to do. This is also the first time I have driven this tractor on the road, so I'm going to get off the phone here. Well, look at that. Isn't that fancy? You pull in here and it just pulls up the field and the work and everything and says, hey, you're going to do this. Okay, I will do that. Ooh. We'll have to, yeah. I got both varieties in there, so what do I set my seeding rate at with both varieties? I don't know. I don't think I can do multiple variable rates, one for each side. It's the most stressful pass of the year. The first one. I think we planted some corn. We're going to go dig it up and see. And aside from being super crooked on that end, because I hadn't made it out of my line yet, and planting the first 100 feet without the fertilizer pump running, because I forgot to click the master switch, I think we did good. So, handy dandy seed digger, let's see what we can find. Right there. So there's one. It's maybe a touch shallow. There should be one somewhere right in here. Right there. Right there. That one's pretty good though. We're shooting for 2 inches. I'd rather be a little deep than a little shallow. Yeah. There it was. Dang it. Should have been right here. Skip there, maybe? It's not good when you can find the skips. All right, well, let me do a little digging and looking around. Well, we got seed in the ground. Plant 22 started. All right, well, our planter is doing a good job. A few things that are working right here that we'll talk about. So right there's our seed. I haven't moved him yet. So we're at 2 to 2 1/4 inches deep. That's perfect. That's exactly where I want it. It's maybe a touch on the deep side, but we're early. The soil's kind of cold, so we want to plant deeper rather than shallower. You'll notice how it is firmly planted right in the bottom of our nice little V that we've got here. So our new openers are doing a great job creating the seed trench. Our seed firmers are doing a really good job of pressing that seed down into the bottom of it. And our closing wheels, our spiked closing wheels, are doing a great job at busting the sidewalls apart so we don't have that sidewall compaction and resistance. So the seed is firmly planted right where it's supposed to be, down in the bottom of that V. And I am super happy. There it was. I just dug him out. I'm super happy with the job the planter is doing. All the rows look good. I dug 12 of them at least. But all right, let's get a feel for it and see how we're doing. Brock's done with his tillage field, so he's gonna ride for a little bit, I would guess. Okay, I am starting to get the hang of this, and the view is really cool. But we are planting corn. I'm pretty sure everything is going well. We're gonna stop and check again here in a little bit. A couple of things that I don't like. One, this black label zinc that I put in there, I can't see my balls floating at all in those flow gauges there. It's possible I need a heavier one because they were pegged out at the top when I could see them. But yeah, that's going to be a problem. Although we're not using this stuff on everything, we're only using it on a few hundred acres, 500-ish, something, half or a third of our corn, somewhere in that ballpark. So, yeah, it is what it is. What else? This, I need another monitor. I need the extended monitor. I can't get one right now. I want one. I've tried to get one. They don't have them. But yeah, let's see something here. ISO bus VT. Yes. So our section control is working for our seed and our fertilizer. So right now we're overlapping because I had to curve around the woods. I always make the first 2 passes, follow the edge of the field, and then the third one is straight. So we've got a little overlap there. There's no seed or fertilizer going in on that side of the planter. Notice how there's no little spray nozzle on that side there. Now one turned back on, so we're starting to get out of the overlap a little bit. And then on the seed side of it, the clear boxes mean that there is no seed there, and obviously the red line means that it's, yeah. So everything's working like it's supposed to. This is good. There's a rock. I told Brock to get it. Time to go do a little more looking around. I want to look at the frame of the planter, make sure everything's level. I've got the 3-point down as far as it will go, so as long as we're not tipped forward, that doesn't look too bad. We're actually, the front could go down just a touch more according to the tongue, but you really want to look at your parallel arms and make sure that they're in the ground good. That looks okay to me. Our down pressure, I mean, this is not a great way to tell if you can spin those wheels or not. Like that one I can spin a little bit, but that's just not a great way to do it. So we kind of relying on our monitor for that. What I do with my seed digger tool. Right there, one of my refuge seeds, 2 inches. I'm happy. Come back here a little ways away from the planter where I was slowing down. Right there. I'm happy. It looks good. Just pick random rows. I don't have to check them all every time, but I like to check a few. Check this one next to the tires. Right there. That one's a touch on the shallow side, but yeah, they're not bad. They're not bad. I'll do one more right here. Right there. Good. Now that we've got a few acres done, we can just take a look at our fittings and make sure we don't have any leaks. Our fertilizer system, all this stuff is new, so just want to make sure everything looks good. You can see I found a little mud. That's from that first pass right over there by the woods that we did not really plant through, but we drove through it and got some mud on the tires. All of these look good. Yeah, that stuff is dark, nasty. You can't see anything through there. I don't see any leaks anywhere. I'll check our new hydraulic hose fittings. Those look good. Fittings here. Those look good. They will get dirt stuck to them quickly if they are leaking at all, so it's easy to tell. Everything there looks okay. Yeah. See that red there? The plastic balls are floating whether there's any flow through it or not, so we're gonna have to change those out, put a heavier ball in those things. Oh man, just look at it. Just look at it. So cool. This is awesome. All right, Brock has to go because on the other end of this field there's a gator with my dad sitting in it, and I'm quite sure he's gonna want to ride in this tractor, so I sent Brock home for the night. He'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna have a big day tomorrow, I think, but just getting our feet wet today, getting everything figured out. So we're doing it. Feels like I should be driving faster. Slow now, but that's what we got, and it's going well. So We're up to 16 acres. I'm gonna be here for a little while yet. Well, I'm starting to get more comfortable with the monitors and the controls here a little bit. Does anybody know what this button does? I have not figured out what that one does. I think I know what these ones do, but I'm not real sure. I figured out how to get it to go to my set point, at least set point 1, and I think if I push this to 2 and did the same thing, it would go to my set point 2. But yeah, I have no idea what this button does. There's 3 indicator lights under it. When I press them, they light up. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, that is good. I've customized these buttons. So this is my raise and lower for the planter. This one is for my markers. That's helpful. This engages my auto steer. So does this button. That's good. I have found that you need to put the covers over these, because when you're reaching up there to touch the monitor and your sleeve bumps these, then you stop planting and you freak out like, what the heck's going on? So yeah, do that. I would really like a second monitor, I can tell you that. I think I have told you that. I'm still working on getting this one set up. Now that I'm away from some Endros and stuff, I've got a little bit more of a chance. I'll keep working on that. There's another button. Oh yeah, over here. That one. Oh yeah. Push that button. What's this one do? Whoa! I don't know what that one does, but we'll push it. All right. That one turns on the heat. We don't need the heat. Apparently this is to switch between cooling and heating, and this one turns it on or off. We don't need that right now. It's not new anymore. It's got 10 hours on it. Bummer. Do you guys know how much fun it is to be doing this? And yes, I'm in a super awesome, very nice tractor, but just being in a tractor, in the fields, doing some spring field work, it's been a long winter. Man, it's so nice. So nice to be out here, and everything is working really well. I haven't had any issues with the planter, the fertilizer system. All that new stuff that we're running is good. That's why we spend so much time over the winter working on this stuff, going through everything, fine-toothed comb, just trying to make sure that if there's something wrong, we find it and fix it before we get to now, so that we can do this. We can just go to the field, plant 80 acres in 4 hours, and be done with it, and not have to worry about breakdowns and all kinds of issues and stuff. So, this is awesome. Well, we may have hit our first little snag or hiccup. Our fertilizer tank back there, it's probably more empty than it should be at this point in the field. We've got 50 acres done. We're right at 50 acres, which means we have a little over 30 to go, and we should probably have 350 gallons in there. I don't think we do. There's a little bit in the front one here, but not very much. So we're getting our radon plenty heavy. So I went into the monitor and I adjusted my prescription down to a 90% level, so it's putting on 10% less than what I have told it to, which is probably closer to accurate of what we want it to be. But we may end up a little bit short in this field, so we'll see. We're gonna run it out and stuff, but we need to figure out how to do a calibration on our flow meter. All right. So when I loaded seed up in this planter for the field here, I did not put the same amount in both tanks, because I had 2 different varieties here and I had more of one than the other. And so I put all the one variety in, and then I put all of what I need of the more in the other tank, knowing that I would have to move some. Well, my first tank is running empty, so we're gonna open it up. Oh, I gotta turn the fan off so I can open the lid. So we're gonna open this up, maybe. There we go. And, well, we're not quite empty, so we're going to level that off and plan it out, and then we'll come back. And there's quite a bit in this one yet. We'll have to use our bucket and dump it in over here. All right, so here's the deal. We're up to this house lot, so we've got this square back here to do yet. We have 66 acres done. We have roughly 15 to go. We do not have 15 acres worth of fertilizer in that tank. So we're gonna run back to the farm. We're gonna grab a little bit more before we get trapped back here and have to drive back and forth more times. I'm gonna have to do a little math, and we're gonna see if we can't do a calibration procedure somehow or something, because we got it on plenty heavy here. It's not the end of the world. It all got put on our crops, and it'll make our crops grow, and it will be there. But fertilizer is expensive. I'm trying to cut rates, not put more on. Really, we put on what we normally would have a year or two ago, but I'm trying to cut a little bit to save some money, and that is not what we did in this field. So let's try and get that dialed in. All right, well, we're loading up a little bit more fertilizer here. I was reading in a book about how to calibrate that, and Surefire is adamant that their flow meter is correct and it does not need calibrated. It is possible that did not have enough fertilizer with us when we left, because I'm using this flow meter to load, and that one now, with what I just put in, says we have almost 1,200 gallons. And according to the Surefire flow meter, we've applied about 800, and I only put in 200, so we're way off. And it could be this one. In fact, I am more convinced that this one is wrong, and so I probably didn't take enough. So I'm not going to calibrate yet. We're going to put in enough, what I think, to finish, and then we're going to pay a lot closer attention to what the tank markings say and try and make sure that we're not over applying, but that we're more accurate. So yeah, it's not super critical that we're dead on accurate and stuff. We just, like I said, we don't want to over apply because it's expensive, and I'm trying to cut back a little bit, and I don't want to run out. We bought what we needed and not a bunch more. We can't go 10% over on every field, or we won't have enough. So according to that, we've got what, 275 gallons, a little under 300. Check it out. I made the TV today.
Depends on the weather, but as Dan Cummins tells us, there's plenty more to worry about this year.
That's not from now.
2019 was a disaster with a cold, wet spring. A lot of fields sat empty as it was almost too late to plant corn and beans. This spring, cool and wet, but still early. Nathan Baker is out of Waldron, farms in Lucas, Williams, and Hillsdale counties. Like Buckenmeyer Farms, he's set to go, waiting on Mother Nature.
I started planting somewhere around the last week of April, the 20th to 25th, so we're right in that window right now. I wouldn't say that we're behind schedule yet, but it is a little cold this spring, and you know, but the weather will change any point. So.
Inflation's been a hot topic, but this year more so. Fuel, seed, chemicals have gone up 300% in some cases.
Something that, like in hydrous, where it's our main source of nitrogen for corn. Last year we were paying around $500. This year it's $1,600. There's guys that tried pricing it lately. It's around $17.
Because we're spending a lot more dollars per acre to plant that crop. And if we have poor weather this summer, we have a drought, we have a flood, whatever, or we have a 2019 spring where we just can't get the crop planted all together, we have a lot more to lose.
Hey, look at that cool little foam well that I got there. Well, that was cool. I will try and find a link to that, put it in the description of this video down below here, so you can watch the whole thing. It got longer than I wanted to put in this video, but he did a good job. Appreciate them giving me that opportunity. And yeah, we're on our way back to the field. Let's go finish this. This tractor's a little rough on the road. She's not the smoothest thing in the world. Uh-oh. That might be a problem. Okay, let's see. We can't have, what, 10 acres to do, but it's raining. That's more rain than we've had all day. I think it stopped. I was going to quit when I got to the end here, but I think it stopped. That's as wet as it can get, because it's just building up on our fertilizer gauge wheels just a tiny little bit. If it builds up on the gauge wheels, you can't control your depth, and if you can't control your depth, you can't plant. Boy, I don't know. We're gonna stop here and think for a second. It is done. I decided to keep going. I looked at the radar, and I don't think we're gonna get any, or much, if any, tonight. But there is a cell, or this big blob up in Michigan, and it's moving across Michigan just north of us, and there's a tail that it's dropping down into Indiana. And if we get that, and we get 2 or 3 tents, we might not be able to work tomorrow, and I don't want to leave 10 acres here, so it's not sticking to the gauge wheels. If we don't get any more, because I can still see dry dirt, especially where the openers are running and stuff. We're okay here. We're going to try and finish this and then be done, and hope that we don't get any more tonight so we can keep working tomorrow. Well, we're down to our last round here. Just got to go down. I'm following this pass along the west edge of the field here, and then we got a half of one coming back. So we're going to make it. Some of it's not the prettiest stuff here, but yeah, it's fine. We're good. Planter looks good. Gauge wheels didn't get all packed up full of mud. They just got a dust coat sticking to them. We're good. There. We've got the first, what did we plant? 81.1 acres in the ground. Cool. Good deal. All right, back to the farm. We are done planting for tonight. If we do not get more rain tonight, we will go again tomorrow. We will have a very big day tomorrow, hopefully. We got good 150 acres ready to be planted right now, and then we're gonna get another 175 fit up and ready to go that can be planted on Sunday or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to do as much as we can before we get rained out. Phil did not find any corn stalks or any fields going to beans that he thought were dry enough to start working and disking. Corn stalks and all that residue tend to stay a little bit wetter, so that doesn't surprise me that they're going to be 2 or 3 days behind where we can plant corn. So I'm sure we'll look around again tomorrow and see what we can find, but I would love to get some beans in the ground as well. Really would rather be planting beans than corn, but it's time for both, so we'll do what we can as we can. Shortest distance to the farm is to go back across our back end of ours, and I'm just trying to get onto a lane rather than driving across the field, so we cut the corner here. Turkeys, we got turkeys. 3 of them. Well, it says we use 954 gallons of starter, 955, and I thought we were going to need 960, so it says we put on just the right amount. Now, whether we actually did or not, I don't know. I think we were a little heavy, but we'll get that dialed in here over the next day or two, hopefully. We used 30 gallons of fuel to plant that field. 82.67 acres. Okay. Yeah. Average 32,000 seeds per acre. Yeah, everything seems to have worked really well. So we're going to park this right here. I'd pull it up in front of the fertilizer there, but Dad might do some spraying in the morning, and I don't want to be in his way if he gets going before I do. So we're just going to leave it here. It did not quite get dark enough for me to turn the lights on. Bummer. Oh well. It is now 7:41 on a Friday night. I should go home and see my kids and go to bed. Actually, I am going to go home and see my kids. However, we're going out to the seed warehouse, and we're going to treat some beans tonight because I got to get this done. Ours and my customers, they've got to get done. They've got to get done now. So we're going to work on them when we can work on them. And if I'm going to be planting during the day, then at night. So I'm not going to film a whole lot of that, because you guys have seen me treating beans. You know how that works, so you don't need to watch me do it anymore. Hope you enjoyed this one. Man, that was fun. That was so much fun. What an awesome machine. Hit that subscribe button, because you are going to see that thing a lot this spring, this year, all of it. Did we get there? Filter? Cool. Anyway, subscribe for me. Make sure you thumbs up the video. And if you have any questions and comments, leave them down below. See you in the morning, probably. Good thing we stayed and finished.